Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. You know, we all know that change is constant, that everything's constantly changing. You hear this a lot, and we all sort of know it intellectually in our heads, that nothing stays the same. This is true on a minute physical level, like this pen here. It's not the same pen it was when I started this video. It's a little bit older, and subtly, molecularly, inside the various components of this pen, it's different. It's changed from how it was a second ago. It's hard to experience that change. It seems really solid and seems really consistent, but if I put this pen on a piece of glass and just was able to stare at it for 5,000 years, I would watch it crumble into its original components, probably just dust and molecules or whatever. So we know that change is happening constantly. We certainly see it in our kids, and we see it in our bodies, but again, we feel it over the course of time. We don't usually feel it moment to moment to moment. Sometimes, maybe you look at a tree in the wind, or you look at grass and you can feel it. Ooh, things are changing their position. But they're not just changing their position in the wind. The individual leaves and blades of grass and individual parts of that tree are also aging and changing. So change is a powerful thing. One of the Greek philosophers, Heraclitus maybe, or one of those guys, said nothing is, everything is becoming. In other words, things don't exist as things, they are becoming. You could argue that there's no such thing as a noun. Everything is a verb. There's no cup. That right now the things that make up that cup are cupping for a while, but eventually they'll break down and become something else. Everything becomes something else. Nothing stays the same. So one way to experience this directly and immediately in a really kind of a fun way that also trains your body and improves your balance, and also may improve your martial arts and Tai Chi practice too, is it's fairly simple, but just stand on one leg. So when you stand on one leg, you notice how you can feel change. Because if you stand on one leg and just freeze that position, you're just going to fall over. You have to adapt to the subtle changes. There is leeway and play within the joints and the tendons and muscles and ligaments of our body. There's a certain amount of play there that's necessary, that just has to be there. That play is in relationship to gravity, and that play it makes for change of a certain kind. And if you want to be in balance, you have to continually adjust to whatever those changes are and find the balance point. In other words, you're balancing as opposed to balance being a thing that you have, right? So the second you stand on one leg, it'll become much more obvious. You can stand on two, and if you really listen, you can feel these little minute changes that you're making and adjustments to remain upright. But when you stand on one leg, it's obvious. So some tips. I'm going to stand here. You're probably not going to be able to see me, my whole body, but I'm going to pay attention to my foot contact on the ground, bend my knee, align it with my toes, sit into this hip crease. Don't push this hip crease forward. Sit into that. Tuck the hips a little bit. Lift the chest. Drop the shoulder blades down your back a little. Tuck your chin a little. Pull your head back a little bit, and then lift that other foot off the ground. And as you do that, you will experience challenges to that, and you'll start to tip one direction or the other, or things will happen immediately. You can have this dance going on with change almost immediately. And how do you find that place where you can stay in balance? And what I do is just keep attending to those basics. That's basically what I do in my whole Tai Chi practice. Is I find a neutral balanced state, I put pressure on it, and then I look to see what starts to go out, and I correct what goes out with basics. Pretty much the stuff I learned in the first month of Tai Chi. So when I'm on that one leg, if I start to lose my balance, I think foot, leg, crease, tuck, lift, shoulders, head, boom, and it corrects almost anything that goes wrong. I just keep doing that. Recommending that you stand on one leg is a way to experience change directly. Experience it directly in the moment. You are on the trail of the changes that are happening in there. And the longer you do it, The muscles get tired in different orders, in different ways. Different parts of your body slip out of alignment at different times, and you have to keep kind of reining them in and adjusting to that change. So great for your balance, obviously. Great for leg strength. Good for your posture and alignment to be thinking about those things. And also, just on a whoa, cosmic dude, it's a good chance to just experience change, to feel change moment to moment happening, because you have to be on it. You have to be listening for when you're off balance and then make that correction. The difference between an expert and a novice at almost everything is the size and frequency of the corrections. An expert makes many, many, many small corrections, whereas a novice makes a few big corrections. This is obvious when you see people tightrope walk. Novice, big corrections that happen every now and then, whereas an expert, millions and millions of little teeny ones when they're holding that bar, when they're on the slack line or whatever. You see these, they're almost vibrating with corrections. So they make lots of little ones, because the minute it's off, they correct it. So anyway, just a good balance exercise and a good way to experience change directly. Hope you like this video. If you do, please subscribe to my channel. I do music, Tai Chi, nature stuff, all kinds of different things. And if you feel like donating to my cause, I have a little PayPal link down below, but there's no need to do that. I'm happy to just put this stuff out there in the hope that it's helpful. That's why I started making videos in the first place. But donations are much appreciated and help keep me afloat. So thanks for watching, and take it easy.